They love the way they train. They feel like they're more prepared than any team in this field in the junior category. They're led by their leadoff man. That's Dominic Toten, who's coming to the plate. Lots of contact, lots of speed. He can cause some problems. He's their center fielder as well, a defensive gem out in the outfield to patrol everything. Going to be very important for them to really, again, as we talked about so much, can you be aggressive in this early game? Maybe you can catch the opposition asleep in the early going.
Ryan Shepard is the starting pitcher, and we're underway with a first pitch pop fly down the left field line. Could be trouble, but a great catch out there at short by Tavares. The managerial staff highlighted him as their best defensive player and someone to keep our eyes out for. And on the first pitch of the World Series, he's out there flashing the leather.
Yeah, plus glove out there at short. How about Julian Tavares? He's awake. Slide on over, stumble your way through the turf dirt. Step to your right, step back, almost towards the foul line. Maybe the left fielder should have came in and made a play, but Tavares does what he does. Does what he's expected to do all regional long. Starting us off high.
Dylan Robinson is the shortstop today for New Orleans Youth Academy. He takes that one in the dirt. This is a New Orleans team 4-1 at the regionals. They suffered one loss in pool play, was to the Houston Astros. Nike RBA team. It was an 8-0 loss, but after that loss, they bounced back with an 11-4 win, and then they got their revenge on Houston in the title game, winning by a score of 6-3. As there's a strike on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lucius Moore, our home plate umpire. Patrick Levely on the bases for this one. As this sharply hit on the ground to the right side. Tirado up with it. Low throw is dropped. Can Scanlon recover? He can, and it's going to be an error there on the... I would assume that's going to be put on the first baseman for dropping the baseball.
I'd say that's an E3. He's got to track that. That's a good play defensively. Yeah, it's not the perfect throw out there from second from Tirado, but that's one he's got to make, and it should have been routine, and it wasn't. And if you're New Orleans, you'll take that. You got your guy on, and you go to work.
So now here's Chancellor Rogers. Smooth left-handed swing he's got in that batter's box. And he's on the ground, a shortstop here. Tavares takes it to the bag himself. Throws to first. It's in time. 6-3 double play. It's the inning defensively of Tavares. A putout and an assist as well in that frame. We're scoreless through half an inning here at Determination Field. Home half for the first, and the first time we see the East Regional champions, the Cleveland Guardians Nike RBI team. And Fernando Rios Tirado, the second baseman, to lead things off, followed by Josiah Martinez and Ryan Shepard, the pitcher. They'll be going up against the right-hander, Evel Otis. Right-handed pitcher, class of 2026 from St. Augustine High School out of New Orleans, Louisiana. First pitch is a fastball downstairs for a ball, and that's how the home side gets rolling today. Tirado playing second base. We saw him on the front end of what ended up becoming an E3, but they were able to get out of it thanks to the great play from Tavares up the middle, starting that inning-ending double play. Here's the 1-0. Squaring a bunt, pulling it back, but it's a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, I think, again, same thing for New Orleans. Can you get on? Can you get aggressive early? Tirado, small batter's box, small strike zone. Try and just stick your nose in there, get on base path, and create some chaos early. Again, you want to see who's tired out there this early portions of this game.
Time is called.
You know, a lot of these kids had to sit and wait yesterday. Some of these teams got in on Monday thinking there were going to be games on Tuesday in the junior pool with all the weather delays yesterday. All the games being played on Wednesday.
And the junior games scheduled for yesterday have now been pushed to tomorrow,
Yep.
which will coincide with the bracket play for the senior division.
And then you kind of have the opposite of it. New Orleans, they were the last team to arrive of the 16 teams here. They rolled in late yesterday.
Otis misses downstairs with a fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that was the one thing the coaching staff kind of talked about with the flight delays and the travel issues they had. The big thing was, though, the focus never changed. They talked about how those guys were ready for whatever was throwing at them on the field and even at the airport. And that one misses inside. 3-1 goes the count for Tirado.
It's one of those things, I think, Cav, that locks you in some ways. Like, you show up, you know you had issues, but you're here to play ball. And you get here, and now you know you've gotten through maybe the hardest part of all of this. First base coach is an animated fella for Cleveland.
They love the staff. They're all connected. They've all been involved with the program for several years as Tirado works a 5-pitch walk to start at the bottom of the first.
That's really good from Tirado. I mean, it's just kind of textbook. You take that early strike and you battle in, you keep the bat on your shoulder, and you set yourself up in a really good spot, and now you've got the lefty ability, and at some point you're going to just try and get down the line to Colleran and work from there.
Josiah Martinez, switch hitting right fielder for Cleveland. Squares the bunt, drops it down perfectly up along the third base line. Taylor charges. His only option is to first. Now third base is unoccupied. Tirado tries to take advantage of it. Did Taylor get back in time? Yes, he did. It's a double play for New Orleans, and there's 2 gone in the inning.
That's a ball play right there, and I think Tirado, he ain't going to leave. He's going to sit there. He's also feeling a little shaken up maybe, but how about that, to slide it all the way over and then go back? It's just a great effort at third base from Taylor. That was really well done.
It's a sacrifice 5-3.
For now. We're having a conversation about it. Patrick Lovely made the call in the field. Lucius Moore is having the conversation with him right in front of home plate, and they will hold the call. Right. New Orleans was quick out of the dugout to make sure, hey, you called him out. Let's hold on to it.
Made sure no return calls. We haven't, at least, I haven't seen one this way. I don't think you have this either.
I don't think Cedric has.
We haven't had a call overturned yet. We've had a couple throughout the regional weekends across the regional pools, but none here so far. Ryan Shepard is the pitcher. He bats from his opposite hand, and he takes that one for a ball. Right-handed pitcher, but a lefty bat.
Advantageous for the kid.
Indeed.
Create yourself an opportunity to be a useful individual in the lineup just off handedness alone, and I'm sure he's batting third. I'm sure he's got some pop beyond just the switch-handed.
Waves and misses in that one.
And he's not listed as a switch hitter, interestingly, is Shepard, but there are a couple of switch hitters in this Cleveland order, so they've got a ton of versatility to throw at the opposition if and when they choose.
Shepard at the regionals went 8 for 16.
That's 500.
That is correct.
I did 8 divided by 16, came up to 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5.
Good math, Brian.
Thank you. It's early. You got to take the small victories early.
He drove in 3 over the course of that one while walking twice and scoring 9 times. That one is in the dirt, and it's 3-1.
That's a good week.
Yeah, big reason as to why they got to this far at this point. Made a start as well at the regionals against Lehigh Valley. 3-1. Shepard lines that one to the opposite field. That's down in left center for a base hit. He rounds first hard. He's going for second. The relay from Toten in center field on a bounce is there to get him. New Orleans flashing the leather here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 great defensive plays to cut down would-be base runners of Cleveland Guardian hitters. We go to the second inning. No score here at the World Series. Middle of the lineup here for New Orleans as we enter the second inning. Cameron Johnson, the catcher, followed by Taylor and Brown for New Orleans Youth Academy. A couple of base running blunders highlight the frame for Cleveland as the first pitch is a hit by pitch and Johnson is aboard.
Yeah, I didn't understand that last one to end the inning from the pitcher there. Shepard, it didn't make a ton of sense to me as he rounds first. He takes this wide turn. That's fair. You got to get your head up. You got to see that ball stayed in the glove out there in left center. You got to understand you're going to get hosed down. That ball was in the glove of the man at second before he was 3/4 of the way to the base. You've got to understand you got to sit in and take your single, keep the inning alive for your offense, hope someone behind you can make something happen.
The third baseman, Taylor, who made a great defensive play in the bottom half of the last inning where he fielded that bunt perfectly. And then with third base unoccupied, usually you would give credit to Tirado for trying to take that extra base as no one was there.
Yeah.
Taylor flew back to the bag and fielded one as the runner goes in the pitch. Throw down a second on a line is in plenty of time to get him. Great throw there from Colleran back there behind the dish. And there's one gun in the inning.
So Louisiana had a defensive gem on the other end of this one, and now that's 2 or 3 for Cleveland to start this game. I think these boys on the defensive side came to play this morning. That's a just perfect throw. I don't know if we've seen a throw executed that well on the senior side so far this week, Kevin. Maybe one or two throws have been better than that, but I talked to coaches pregame. They said Colleran was the bat to watch for this Guardians club, but, well, hey, got the defensive side as well.
Catcher, class of 2027 from St. Ignatius High School, North Ridgeville, Ohio. Now he'll play on a senior team in a couple of years. Now he'll play on a varsity team as well if he's able to continue the bat and have that level of arm right there.
Very much so.
3 balls and no strikes, the count to Taylor.
And back to Taylor on his defensive play. I mean, to have the wherewithal, again, it will continue for a while, this early in the morning to know you got to get back over there. You've seen it all play out in your head.
And Taylor works a 4-pitch walk.
You see it work out in your head on the defensive side of things, but also you see his frame, long, lanky. He gets back to third in like 2 or 3 strides. That allows him to get in front and have enough time to get there, make the play, and then apply the tag as well. It's something I think is useful for a guy at the hot corner like that. In situations like that, to have the strides and to understand, A, positioning, and then B, just have the ability and the build to get back there, make the play. I think we're going to see a lot of defensive, solid play today. It seems like that's really strong in the middle infield for Cleveland. The corners look really good for New Orleans. Both catchers look like they can play.
William Brown is the hitter. Goes up 2-0. 6 straight in that category here for Shepherd.
Willie's the catcher on the defensive side for Cleveland. He's listed as primarily being used as a designated hitter for New Orleans. They raved about his swing. Monroe Bates, big league quality swing, they say that William Brown has. Pop and fly. Powerful junior kid who can really put them out into the outfield and put guys under pressure.
Strike there on the get me over from Shepherd. 3-1 the count, 1 out here. Top of inning number 2 in the opening game of the Junior World Series. Powerful swing that's popped found to the right side. It's 3-2. Taylor the runoff first, a slight lead. Sure that throw from Colleran scared off a couple of base runners now in the future for this New Orleans team.
I would wait like 2 innings to steal. That's probably why I'm not out there, but
He's on the move on the 3-2, but it's ball 4. Standard protocol. And since the caught stealing, back-to-back walks issued by Shepherd. Buckley will now come on up.
we talk all about Brown's swing there and his ability at the plate to put the barrel on the ball, but that's a quality at bat at the end of the day. That's great patience at the plate, and you put yourself on in 2 walks now, and early troubles for Shepherd. He's got to navigate through. Double play within the inning.
Command was an issue for Shepherd in his regional start as he gets 1 strike there to Buckley. He's in right field, where in that outing back on July the 26th against Lehigh Valley, in which he went 6 1/3 innings of strong work of just allowing 2 runs, he walked 5 hitters and hit a man as well. He falls to a 1-1 count. They'll snap it back down to second, and safe there is Taylor. Tavares wasn't expecting the ball back, but luckily enough he was in good enough position to prevent it from going into center field. But 6 free passes issued in that start back in the regionals a couple of weeks ago.
Not great.
He has, in his inning alone, 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Also not great.
2-1. Three balls and a strike as Shepherd struggled here. Buckley, class of 2026. Matson throws to the right side. They do have the base open, but this is a situation you don't want to get in with this New Orleans offense. Swing and a miss. Big time pitch there for Shepherd. Gets him back in this one. It's 3-2.
He was all over that one there. It's a really good settle in, and you find your way to get to a full count and see if you can just make something happen if you Shepherd.
3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Now they have the second runner hung up there. The spin throw down at third. Safe there as Taylor was running on the pitch, got caught in no man's land after the swing and a miss there on Buckley. And now there's two gone.
Yeah, Kevin, he was not hung up for long, though. Taylor, it's that jump. He commits to it. He doesn't second guess it. Yeah, he goes back for a half second, but as soon as he sees Colleran up and throwing on over to second, he knows he's got a beeline for third. That's his best chance of winning that battle. Don't double guess yourself. Go straight on over. Don't get caught in a pickle. That's exactly what Taylor did. He just made sure he got to third. Now that puts runners on the corners.
Strike one to Derek Mercadal, the second. Second baseman flies this one down the right field line, but it's foul. Two strikes here in the frame. Shepard could get out of it without a run for a team that scored 33 runs in the regional.
It's a lot.
Runner on the move for second. Pitch. 5-holes the catcher. Coming home now is Taylor, and he will score. It's like a bad bounce off of the shin guard of the home plate umpire, Lucius Moore. And Taylor and New Orleans strikes first. It's 1-0 here in the visitors' half of the second.
And that was a tough one for Colleran. He thought it was going to go right behind him. He couldn't find it. Then he gets his head up. He sees it's off to his left. And at that point, it's again the aggressive and just determined look from Taylor to know, okay, as soon as I see that ball on the ground, I'm committing. I'm going to go. I'm not going to second guess it. Because I think if he waits a half second there and gives Colleran enough time to find that baseball, there's a much better chance there's at least a close play at the plate. I still think Taylor might leg that one out there, and New Orleans is still in front. But he doesn't even give Cleveland a chance because he's so locked in and knows exactly I'm going to just go for this.
2-2. You let her ball 4.
All right, Shepard.
So that'll bring up Jeremy Gibson, left fielder, and the number 9 hole man. Third walk issued there by Ryan Shepard in this inning. Only one has come across the pass.
It's a hit by pitch, 3 walks, and a strikeout. That feels quite bipolar to me.
Fouls on the check swing attempt. Gibson, Harvey, Louisiana native. That's 2026 out of Patrick Taylor Science and Technology Academy. We were joking last night about some of the long school names here. That's the one that you're going to try during the break about 10 times fast, correct?
Patrick Taylor Science and Technological Academy. I guess it's not technological today, it's just technology. That's even easier.
2-1 is the count. Shepard, right-handed pitcher, first base side of the rubber. Falls behind 3-1. He does have the base open, but that doesn't seem like the good choice for the top of the order on deck here for New Orleans. Early breaking point here in this one. Shepard steps off. Gibson hit .364 at the regionals. 4 for 11. A 2-hit game against the Austin team. They got him leaning at first, and they pick him off. Shepard struggling to find the zone, finds the mid of his first baseman to pick you off the trail runner and retire the side. We go to the bottom of the second. New Orleans strikes first. 1-0 our score. New Orleans leading 1-0 without a hit. Cleveland to bat here with a hit and without a run. Gavin Later, Ryan Score. And Otis fires a first pitch fastball. It's jammed and will drop down the left field line for a base hit off the bat of Braden Colleran. How about that little shortened up approach right there, dropping it down the left field line, and the second hit of the game for Cleveland.
I don't think Gibson had any idea where that ball was going from the start. He was really casual trying to find it. I think he was thinking right off the bounce off the bat that ball was going to be somewhere stuck in the infield diamond, and as it continued to surge out, he made a secondary push, but at that point it was too late. That ball was below the foul pole, the top of the foul pole level, and was down for a base hit.
So that single makes it 15 hits in regional and World Series play for Braden Colleran.
It's better than most.
That's in just 19 at-bats, or 20 now officially. 19 at the regionals. He went 14 for 19, now making 15 for 20. His OPS, by the way, entering the World Series today was 2,118, as Curtis Runner is back in there with a dive. Yes.
Read that one.
It is 2,118 is his OPS. His average entering World Series play was 737. He has an OPS of 750, an on-base percentage of 750. So when you add those two up, you get 2,118.
He's just Benny the Jet Rodriguez, man. He's the best player on the team. Benny gets on base, man.
Safe there at first yet again. Another pickoff attempt. It was close.
That's ridiculous. And to have that with that smooth of a swing as well. It's a real clean motion. Cleveland spoke and raved about that. It's a perfect guy to have in your cleanup spot.
Inside corner, there's a strike. This is Julian Tavares. Man, what a day he's had defensively already. 2 web gems out there at the shortstop position. Behind the 1-2 as Otis tries to get a much-needed out. Nice job there by Tavares to protect. He'll get a new one.
I think the thing I'm noticing with a lot of these Cleveland kids right now, and even some of the New Orleans kids, a lot of it is just longer, athletic, taller kids that if I was, coaching at a youth setup, you'd want to pack a lot of those guys into your team because you can develop, you can train, and then when they get to the age where they start to lift weights, they start to work out. Around this time, when they get to the senior pool in a few years' time, when they get into high school and they start to really hit the gym, there's real college potential with a lot of these kids out here that we're watching today, just based on frame alone. And then you add in all the intangibles they've learned from playing the game and understanding some of the defensive skill.
Lining off the glove of the second baseman, Mercadal, in a right center field. That'll be a base hit, so 2 straight singles to start the Cleveland second.
That's a hard hit ball. I like the call that's going to be a single there. Mercadal maybe should have had it, sure, but that was hard enough hit by Tavares to make sure that will go down, and that's a good start for Cleveland. After you end the last inning as you did with, I think, some poor base running, you come out, you get Colleran up, you get Tavares up, you let the middle of your lineup really work.
Here's Owen Scanlon now as an error defensively. We'll love to make up for it. The run, however, did not come across the pass for him. He squares the bunt early here, and he can't get it down, and it's a strike. Long hold, the 0-1. Hit hard on the ground and through the right side for a base hit. They'll hold the lead runner at third. They're station to station, and they're loaded with no one out here for the Guardians in the second inning.
And I wonder if they had anything there with the first inning, thinking about what happened in the first inning with some poor base running that allows it to hold. Yeah, it wasn't super hard hit out there, but there might have been a chance with Colleran's speed to slide in, and there would have been a play at the plate maybe, but I think he would have had the speed to score. But I like the idea. With no outs, you've got rhythm going at the plate. Keep the line moving. You're looking for more than one here if you're Cleveland.
Jackson Briggs, the third baseman, stands in. First offering. Fastball in there. Strike 1.
You just got to settle in now. Right. You've given up 3 singles to start. Can you take your time? You have a lot of time out there. Such a lonely position at times, the pitcher. You got all those guys around you, but sometimes it can be hard to think you got a whole team with you. You're mano a mano with a dude at all times. It's a mental war.
Down and away. Nice job there from Johnson back there. A lot of open real estate behind home plate here at each of the parks being used for the Junior and Senior Division World Series. Especially at Holman Stadium. We saw that on day one. 1-1. Good leave by Briggs. He wanted that slow breaking ball, but held up just at the right time. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. We were talking about it on day one, way back on Monday for the 2 games in the Senior Division at Holman Stadium. Pretty much any ball that got by the catcher was going to be at least 90 feet for any base runners. And with a lot of the speed these junior teams have, you can easily make that case here as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that backstop's a little deeper. Plus, it's not getting real bounce off as well.
Art up the middle, off the glove of the shortstop Robinson. It caroms into center field. 1 run in the score. The whole Tavares at third. The game is tied on an RBI single from Jackson Briggs.
1, 2, 3, 4 singles to start this second for Cleveland. Middle of the lineup has done its job so far. It starts with Collar and the good vibes get going. You get a nice AB from Tavares and Scanlon, and Briggs brings one in. And now they're going to have a conversation, I think rightly so. It's not been the best stuff from Otis, and I think he's just not really been able to get a feel for this game. It's 2 tough defensive plays up the middle as well. I mean, 2 hard-hit baseballs that are going to be tough for the second baseman, and that time the shortstop to hang on to.
They've changed the ruling to an error.
Oh, lame.
So an E6 there for Briggs allows him to reach. Tough error for Robinson as well. But Cleveland, with all the momentum right now, they've tied the game. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning, which also means that Briggs isn't getting an RBI as well as a result. So now here's Barman, center fielder batting from the left side. Takes that one in on the knees for a ball. Finley Barman. 17 plate appearances, 13 at-bats, 7 for 13 at the regionals. We're talking about the OPS of Colleran earlier in this frame. Well, Barman has an OPS entering this game of 1,339.
What?
Yes.
What are they feeding these kids? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
His on-base percentage is 647. His slugging of 692. That gets you 1,339. Three and 0's the count. His OPS would increase if he reaches via walk by the way. Takes a strike. Kept the bat on the shoulder the entire way through. Three one. That's tapped foul to the right side. So the count is full, still no one out. Otis needs one badly here. Can he get one here? He induces a pop-up to the right side. Drifting into right field is Mercadal. Will be the right fielder Buckley who makes the claim. Makes the catch, tagging from third, but then pulling on the brakes there's Tavares. It was well relayed in from Buckley out there and right. So there's the first out of the inning. Bases remain loaded for Cleveland as the number 9 hole hitter, Jinziel Vargas Ortiz, comes on up switch hitter.
And it was almost, Kevin, the right spot to push it out there. It just wasn't deep enough, and it's a really good job out there and right from Buckley to check the runner at third, watch him take a step, then make your throw, and keep everybody where they are.
Ortiz taps that one foul right behind home.
He's lucky that went foul. If that had gone maybe a couple more feet in front of home plate, that could have been disastrous because all you got to do, take a step back, put your foot on the plate, might have a chance to get out. And somehow it would still be 1-1 if this inning ended as it does right now, if it ended right now.
Just inside, count evens out. Ortiz, just his 6th plate appearance of the entire Regional World Series competition. Fights that one off and goes down 1-2. Tavares on third, Scanlon on second, Briggs on first. And Otis steps off with Ortiz as the hitter. Looking to give Cleveland their first lead of the World Series. Weekly tap back up on the first base line. Otis' only option is to first. This will bring in the run. It's a RBI ground out there for Vargas Ortiz. And it's 2-1 Cleveland.
That's fine, though, if you're New Orleans. I think you'll take 2 in this inning. You need to get the next guy out, in my opinion, Kevin. But if it is 2-1 after 2, the way this inning has gone for Val Otis, then you will be very happy to trail by just the 1. But now you got to flip over back to the top, and you got to get the leadoff man out.
So here's Tirado, the center fielder, or the second baseman. Walked an inning ago and was later cut down at third on what would have been. And still, when you think about it, even though it's going to go down as a blunder, when there's no one there at third base, it's usually the heads-up play to try to take that base when no one's covering. Underneath it, pops it up. Room behind home plate, but the catcher unable to make the catch, and Johnson crashing into the chain link fence just in front of us. Hi, everyone.
He was coming right for Kevin. I thought he had that. It looked like he was doing a great job. He got rid of it early, was tracking it the whole way, and I think it just evaded him. I think he was thinking it was going to end up maybe shallow brown area, the fake dirt behind in front of the backstop, and he was spending his whole time really just outside of the batter's area. And it sort of trailed over towards us. And, you know, Kevin, you had a better chance at that play than I did. But I don't know.
I would have had a better play catching the catcher than I would have probably actually catching that baseball.
Well, we wouldn't have caught the baseball because we got a tent over us, you know. But it would have just gotten wedged somewhere there. But the answer is you wouldn't have made the play.
Correct.
Either way, whether you
No
were catching
shot.
the catcher or catching the ball, you wouldn't have made the play.
Here's the 2-1. Hit hard on the ground up the middle. Robinson gobbles it up. Throw to first. This is close. But he got him just barely.
Should have been. But that's really good for New Orleans, I think. You have an inning like that. You only give up the 2 runs. You keep yourself tight in this one. That could have been disastrous early for an early morning game. You didn't want to lose spirits. You go into the dugout. You're still in this one tight, Cav.
They get 2 runs on 3 hits. They benefit from 1 New Orleans error. We play 2. 2-1 Guardians on top. We're in the third. And the score is now 2-1. Cleveland on top. Good inning for the Guardians. However, credit New Orleans for finding a way to get out of that one, right?
Yeah, and we did that going to break. I think New Orleans will feel really happy with how that one concluded because it's probably best case scenario out of all that without a double play to only give up the 2 runs in that situation. If you're Cleveland, that's what you wanted to see that first inning. You get real production from the middle part of your lineup. You have a couple of walks in there, but then you string in some singles and really get going. I think they had 4 singles in that frame, and it started with Colleran. Briggs had a good piece of a hard hit ball. They really dominated up the middle.
Oh, 2. Routine ground ball to short, charging in as Tavares, and his throws in time for the out. That was Jeremy Gibson, the left fielder and the number 9 hole hitter for New Orleans Youth Academy. So the top of the order will now come back up for its second go-around against Shepherd. Here's Dominic Toden. Center fielder popped out too short on a great catch down the left field line. I mean, he was about 25 feet or so in the left field down that foul line where the shortstop Tavares was able to make that play. Hard hit ground ball to first. It gets underneath of Scanlon's glove and down the right field line. Toden with a turnaround first, but he'll park it there. Another error at first base for Scanlon. And there's runner aboard with 1 out.
And I could see that being a hit in some world. It's not necessarily because it was hard hit, but I think it just kind of barely trickled fair. If you're Scanlon, though, you got to have that play. That's the bottom line. Is you've got to get your glove on that ball. At least keep it in front of you. He's had a rough go of it over at first. I'll tell you, though, Tavares, as that ball comes over, Tavares is not. We talked about it yesterday. We watched the Dominican Republic senior game, and if you weren't with us then, we basically created a rule of the game for when you're playing against this senior Dominican Republic team. Don't hit it at third base. Do not hit it to the shortstop for Cleveland. He will get the ball, he will suck it into his gravity, and he will throw you out. It is the bottom line that we have seen with Tavares on the defensive side of things right now.
It is. I'm 0 for 2 this morning. It's a hit. So
Let's go.
So
I thought that was a hit.
So there's New Orleans' first hit of the game.
I thought it was a hit. I'm glad that was.
And so checking on the runner back in there for dive is Toden. And going out there to talk things over with Ryan Shepherd is his battery mate and Braden Colleran. 2-1 our score. Top of the third. New Orleans Youth Academy trailing by a run. Tying run on base, though, with Dylan Robinson, the hitter, reached on an error at first base in the first inning. So officially 0 for 1. For those looking for the White Sox and Dodgers Dream Team matchup here in the junior division, that matchup has switched fields and is no longer being streamed for you all at home. This is New Orleans Youth Academy and Cleveland Guardians Nike RBI in the junior division as well. This is a Pool A matchup in the first game of the Junior Division World Series as Robinson takes strike 1, and it's 2-2.
So if you're a White Sox or a Dodgers family member or fan tuning in for that, we do encourage you to stick around here. You're probably 2 of the teams that'll get out of your pool. You'll probably see one of these 2 teams at some point. It's a good viewpoint on 2 of the better sides, we believe, in this junior bracket.
A fly ball to right. Martinez does a nice job finding the spot and getting there in plenty of time for the out. Back to first goes Toden. And we looked at that matchup coming in, Ryan, you and I, and that game was supposed to be here. Obviously, it's
White Sox
Fields.
Dodgers?
Yeah, White Sox Dodgers. And we were like, man, like that is first game of pool play. You get arguably 2 of the favorites to win the entire thing on day 1 in the first game. Not much can be better. And if you're a fan for either side, like Ryan said, stick around because good shot you're seeing one of these teams in a possible either quarterfinal or semifinal, depending on how Pool B shapes out in this junior division.
Yeah.
They also have Macon Nike RBI, the Southeast winner, and the World Regional winner, the Dominican Republic junior team.
And we'll see how that Pool A plays out. But again, you look at White Sox, you look at Dodgers, and that's top of the marquee, Saturday night prize fight. All you want to look at it. This one, I don't think it was immediately something we gravitated to when we walked up and we said, oh, well, different teams, that's fine. But I think New Orleans has proved that they've got some ability on the defensive side of things. Cleveland certainly has done a great job of playing solid, square baseball so far, and they'll be joined by, what is it, Passaic and Long Ball Durham, correct? So
Correct.
it's those four in Pool A. I think that's a little bit more wide open, at least from the general assumption of what you're expecting, but you never really know. I think the junior bracket, because they're younger, because they're all a little more raw as, just ball players, I think there's always a little bit more variety to what's going on with it. I think.
3-0 is the count, meanwhile, to Chancellor Rogers. First baseman takes a called strike. It's 3-1. Then for that Durham program, let's see. The junior team fares, it was tough sledding for their senior program. 0-3 here at the World Series, eliminated from championship contention. There'll be a consolation game in which they will play tomorrow at Holman Stadium as that one hits Rogers. And two aboard here with two out here in the frame. So now here's Cameron Johnson. He's the catcher. Ryan, I'm also convinced that, he just wanted to come have a conversation with you and I there on that foul ball last half inning.
Maybe I'd want to have a conversation with you, Kevin.
Thank you.
If I was catching, I'd hear that guy. I'd say, hey, man, this really ain't your thing. You should find something else,
Johnson behind 0-1.
Sometimes the players have to speak their mind. I think he was trying to do that to you there.
Time is called. That's a balk on Shepard.
He looks beside himself. He's really upset with that one, Shepard. And now New Orleans is looking pretty dandy here.
Big spot here for Johnson. His team down by a run, evens out the count. Johnson at the regionals had just one RBI. It came back in the opener against the Texas Rangers program back on July the 25th. And he gets underneath this one and skies it. Left side, foul ground, long one for Colleran near the dugout, and that ball just drops foul and into the third base dugout. Both catchers getting some cardio in back there on a couple of pop flies in foul ground.
I'll tell you what, Colleran looked very ready to Olympic dive out in and, reach out and make a play. I think he's probably much the wiser that he didn't.
What's with that concrete in the dugout?
Looked like a hockey player after that. Major ouch.
He's got the hockey mask for his catcher's helmet.
It's true.
Look at a fun mix here at the high school between the two-piece and the hockey style. Johnson skies another one. This is playable on the left side. Briggs in foul ground makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Nice job there from Shepard. Got two in scoring position, but worked around them nicely. Cleveland looks to build on their one-run lead when we come back. 2-3-4 for Cleveland in the third. 2-1 our score. Kevin Malater, Ryan Sikora to my left. As Otis back to work and fires a first pitch fastball that connects with the outer third for strike one. And Josiah Martinez, the right fielder, well-executed sacrifice bunt back in the first inning. However, the runner was safe at second, but with no one covering third base, Tirado tried taking third and was picked off there.
Well, that foul ball almost took the head off of somebody.
They always tell you that if you're going to stand behind the chain link fence behind home plate, don't put your fingers in the fencing. You might not come back with a couple of fingers. Long flat home to Cleveland without a finger, or at least with maybe some broken fingers.
It's a good look, honestly. I think I might stick with it. Which finger should I get rid of? Which hand, which finger? What was that, ring finger right hand?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, ring finger right hand? Okay.
That's lined to the opposite field, but it hangs up for Gibson nicely there for the out.
That's a good start for Otis, too. After that last inning, it was long, it was laborious. You gave up a lot of singles, hard hit balls that just escaped through the gaps. It's nice to see one. You get ahead in the count, and then you see a hard hit ball, but you see it find a defensive glove as you find the right spot.
So here's Ryan Shepard. The pitcher singled his last time up. Cleveland so far 2 runs on 4 hits. With 1 error. New Orleans 1 run on 1 hit with an error as well. In this low-scoring pitcher's duel here as we near the middle innings of this 7-inning game. Otis out of the windup. The righty's 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Shepard, like we said, brilliant at the regionals. 8 for 16. If you include the World Series now, he's 9 for 17. An average that's now going to go up over 500 as he goes up 3-0. Another OPS number for you here, Ryan. We got another one.
So this is the third OPS number we got?
4.
Is this one going to be larger? Okay, just read it.
1,112.
Doesn't impress me as much as some of the other ones.
1,112 is still very impressive.
I'm also getting kind of numb to it.
It's insane to have that many
One
guys.
could say, Kevin, I'm getting comfortably numb to the numbers you're throwing at me. You know, a Pink Floyd reference. Why not?
Yeah.
We're going to try and get into a couple musicals today. A couple musical references. That's today's task.
3-1 in the air, right center field. Shifted over there was Buckley, so he's able to make that play without any harm. And there's 2 gone here in the Cleveland third.
Another one out there, and that's just really good stuff. And after they found the gaps in the last inning, they haven't in this inning. So that's, back and forth we go. And here's the man who chose to protect that $1 million smile.
Braden Colleran. We got word over the break that he is indeed a hockey player.
We got words. There were multiple words
Multiple
spoken.
words. Little Birdie chimed in. By the way, Pink Floyd is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to set you up for that. I was thinking 7 steps ahead, Kevin. I wasn't, but I was maybe like 4 steps ahead. I was thinking about that. I was trying to see if we could get there.
We got there eventually. 9:17 a.m. local time. For our friends in New Orleans, thanks for getting up early with us. 8:17. There's a strike on the outside corner. In this third day of the 2024 MLB Nike RBI World Series, first day of junior division competition. Only junior games all throughout the day. Baseball for breakfast, lunch, and dinner here from the Jackie Robinson Training Complex in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida. A humid one on this Wednesday morning like it is every single day in Florida.
Not brunch baseball?
Well, I would qualify brunch as the 10 a.m. games that we had yesterday.
I would qualify brunch as breakfast and lunch.
Popped up left side out of play. Now, are you a big brunch guy?
Only on Thursdays, I think, but
Why Thursdays?
it's the fourth day of the week. No, it's actually the fifth day of the week, depending on how you view the calendar. I think it's the fourth day of the week. I think anyone born pre-2000 would say it's the fifth day of the week.
So they view Sunday as the official start of the week.
Sure.
Off the end of the bat in left center field. This could be trouble, but it's caught. Nice job there by Gibson on the run. He got to the spot and ends the frame. So nice job by each team. We have a scoreless third. We go to inning number 4. 2-1 Cleveland on top. Score remains the same as the middle chunk of the New Orleans Youth Academy lineup comes on up, down by 2-1 as Taylor will stand underneath third baseman, walked and scored the lone run for the Southwest Regional champions. And he taps that one off the end of the bat. Charging from third base is Briggs. Throw across the diamond is high and safe at first base is Taylor. The throw pulled Scanlon off the bag. So an E5 there charges to Briggs. And a leadoff base runner here for New Orleans. That's what you need when you've struggled to get runs on the board and runners on base. Just a key part of doing that. They're going to get one right there. As Brown cuts and misses that one, 0-1. And Briggs just rushed his throw down there to first base, recognizing the speed of Taylor, who has a large lead off of first. He did steal bases last time on the base paths in the second inning. Long hold. The count goes to 2-1 after that one misses. Brown walked his last time up. Comes up well empty on that one. May have gotten a piece of it as Colleran goes down back there. Definitely think now that Brown definitely got a piece of it and deflects it back into a sensitive spot. Let's hope Colleran's okay.
Ow.
That's all you can say watching that.
That's both base coaches out there for Cleveland with him. Kevin Mapanko, who's at first, the primary man with him.
He's the one on the ground right now, trying to help him out. Been with the program a long time. Mango has. Starting off with the senior program, with the junior program for the last several years as well. Yes. Halloran slowly getting up. It's one of those where unfortunately you just have the wind knocked out of you sometimes as well. That plays a part, but overall, just hope he's okay. We'll take a break at the World Series. After the long injury delay, Colorado was helped off with some trainers here at the Jackie Robinson Training Complex. So Jensen Vargo enters the game to catch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no out. They're going to test the arm, a swing and a miss for strike 3. And safe there at second base is Taylor for stolen base. 1 out in the inning as Brown goes down on strikes.
It's got to be tough for Brown. You know, wait that long. Just think about your count, your at-bat, your approach the entire time.
So now here comes Buckley, the right fielder. And he takes that one just off the plate for a ball. Buckley, a strikeout victim in the second inning against Shepard, as that one clips the lower third, and it's 1-1. Both these teams at it later on today as the runner on the move for third. Throw is outside. Throw down to third base. Not in time. Briggs, nice job sticking with it. And it's 2-1. So the tying run line sits just 90 feet away now. In less than 2 out, this is a spot here for New Orleans where you feel like they need to capitalize. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Ryan nods in agreement for those who can't see him.
See.
Full count. No one up and warming in that Cleveland bullpen. This is Shepard's game. 56 pitches so far. And pitch 57 hits him, and they're on the corners.
All right, so corners, 1 out. Down 1. Got to score a run here. Yeah, you don't have to. It's not in a forced position to where you need to, but if you're New Orleans, I think you really want to take advantage of this moment. You did a great job of stunting that big inning for Cleveland when they only scored the 2. Now can you take advantage of an inning and get the most out of your opportunity?
Well, on the move for second. Pitch is a strike. And now they're both in scoring position. Mercadal has some words of encouragement from third base coach Jarrett Montgomery. As that one misses off the plate. Count evens out. Top of inning number 4, 2-1 Cleveland. New Orleans threatening, though, the tying run on third and the go-ahead run on second as he bunts that one foul. It's 1-2. New Orleans struck first on a wild pitch back in the second inning. They have just 1 hit in this one. It's been a struggle for a team that put up 33 runs through their 5 regional games just a little over a week and a half ago. 1-2. There's a high fly ball, right center field. This could get the job done, and it will split the gap. In to score comes Taylor. Buckley on his heels around third. He's in to score. RBI double for Mercadal. The New Orleans grabs a 3-2 lead.
And that's the perfect piece of hitting for Mercadal. Push it out opposite field into the gap, get going, drive in 2, take advantage of your opportunity to score runs. It's an opportunistic game at its finest, and that's what baseball is going to be in this low-scoring one here. It's 3-2. It's a 2-run fourth now with still 1 out, still a runner in scoring position for New Orleans. Can they keep it going? You got to have a big inning, I think, if you want to find yourself comfortable in this game.
This is popped up foul on a play on the concourse behind Ryan and I. 2 RBI double for Mercadal. Long hold. Shepard. Time not being called. Steps off. That's the second and third RBIs for the man on second base. This is popped up and caught. Gibson retired, and there's 2 away. So the top of the order comes up for that third go-around. Here's Choden, who singled his last time up. One of the picks to click here, Ryan, for this New Orleans team. Opportunity to give themselves a big insurance run.
We were talking about that pregame. Can you explain to the people, and maybe it'll come in the other end of this, what a pick to click is? I had never heard that before.
I mean, they use it in broadcast. Essentially,
I'm in broadcast. I've never heard it before. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I didn't know. I want you to explain it.
So a pick to click is someone who you think needs to do well today for your guys and your team to do well. That's essentially what it is.
So he's a one to watch.
Yes.
Why does everything got to have a fun phrase to it? And I love fun phrases. I'm not. This is not a. If it's a phrase, unless you invented the phrase. You did not invent the phrase.
I can tell you for sure I did not invent the phrase. This is on the ground to the right side. Nice job by Tirado. Can someone get there to cover? No one can. Now the runner's coming home. The throw there. He is safe. Vargo couldn't handle the baseball. Now the runner's going to head for second. He's safe there as well. A chaotic play equals a big insurance run for New Orleans. It's 4-2.
Yeah, backup catcher couldn't keep it. It's really well done by Tirado at second. But it's the first baseman not really knowing where to be. He slips, and then the pitcher's coming over. They can't really decide who's going to be on the bag. The throw back is smart from Tirado to get there, and it's just dropped. Vargo had him dead to rights, and as he goes to transition the ball in to try and tag him down there, he fumbles it. It falls out. He can't find it. It goes over into the right-handed batter's box, and it's an easy run, and then they try and get the play at second. At that point, it was a disaster. It was done and dusted, but man, New Orleans just taking advantage of their opportunity here, and this is the game. 3 runs for New Orleans here in this fourth when they might have had 1 or 2 at a best possible outcome, and Cleveland could have had 4 or 5 back in the second, and they only had 2. So there's kind of your difference in this one right now in the early days, taking advantage when you're supposed to instead of leaving guys on the base path.
Time is called. With Dylan Robinson coming on up. It's an infield single with no RBI. As the wind begins to pick up as Robinson takes that one upstairs for ball 1. 3 runs across here for New Orleans in the fourth as they have their second lead of the game. Game that's now seen 3 lead changes and 2 ties already. 2-0. In their strike. Robinson 0 for 2, reached on air and flew out to right field. Last time up an inning ago in the third was where that flyout happened. Way out in front and rolls over that one foul. 2-2.
Deuces are so wild right now, Kevin. We got 4 of them on that board. Technically 5.
Yeah, we do.
3 with the 2 on the total and 2 in the second. Actually, we got 6 because there's a second inning as well. Maximum 2s.
There's the pitch number 2, a curveball.
As a runner's on second base.
There we go.
There we go. So that's 7-8. It's little things in life, guys. People at home for Cleveland and New Orleans are sitting there. Who are these 2 clowns?
There's ball 4. Robinson aboard safely for the first time.
Now there's 2 guys on the bases.
9. So here's Rogers and some words of encouragement as he heads to the batter's backs for the third time. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. Hit by a pitch his last time in there at the third inning of play. And Rogers takes strike 1. So far, 2 very interesting plate appearances. out in front and 0-2 quickly.
I mean, that pitch was too good to be true.
Now we're having too much fun.
And I am way too tired for this. So we go back to the game.
0-2. Rolls that one over to the right side in short right field. Tirado bobbles it, stays with it, has no play. It's another error.
Oh, and that's the look right over there, right in front of the Cleveland dugout, third base side. We got a man, hands on his knees, head to the dirt. That kind of day, I think, that kind of inning for this Guardians RBI club.
Second error of the inning. So realistically, Shepard has gotten you 5 outs at this point. The only good thing about that play for if you're Cleveland is that the run didn't score. That's about it.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson, first pitch swinging on the ground at third. Briggs will take it the short way and end the frame, but it's a good one for New Orleans Youth Academy. They get 3 runs and the lead. Cleveland to respond when we come back. Middle of the lineup for Cleveland, chasing 2 now as we enter the last of the fourth. And a first pitch fastball connects for strike 1. Julian Tavares, the shortstop, is the hitter. Singled and scored in the second. And it was an inning in which Cleveland probably wishes they could have gone back and gotten more from. They got 2 runs in the frame, but they left 2 men on. Both of them were in scoring position. As Tavares is behind 0-2 quickly. Yo, 2. In the dirt. Good take there. Good spot from Otis. They wanted the chase. Didn't get it. Hit hard and fair. Diving stop by Taylor. Throw to first. Not in time. Good pickup on the other end, but it's an infield single for Tavares.
That would have been the gem of all the gems so far today if Taylor had been able to snag that one right at the foul line on the third base side, get up in time and bounce him out, but he couldn't. He was probably a half second to a second late.
So here's Scanlon. Eventful day. Doesn't describe the work he's going to put in at first base today. And he's got a runner on first. He represents the tying run here in this one. We'll check on the runner. Safe there at first. On the ground, up the middle. Mercadella second for one. Robinson's turn is there to get him in time, but he was off the bag, so he's safe. The throw beat the runner very clearly. However, Rogers was not on the bag. Still fielder's choice, and there's one gone.
Yeah, that's well said, right? It was the perfect turn. You go to 4, you go to 6, you go to 3, and only issue was 3. Just couldn't extend out there and keep that back foot on first base. You had that one, though, and again, you'll appreciate the execution if you're New Orleans. I think they'll feel very confident with how they've looked today defensively. Again, that big inning, they did such a good job to stave it off, survive it out, and here they are, only giving up 2 runs so far through 3 1/3.
Briggs was robbed of a hit by a ball deflecting off a glove on a diving attempt into center field that was ruled an error.
They moved Gibson about 5 or 6 steps to his right towards the pull side, closer to the foul line.
A piece. Nice job there by Johnson to secure it.
Briggs hit a hard one, as you said, up through the middle, so they expect his bat to have some work to it. So that's why Gibson shades over there. Going to try and hope it's maybe a driller through, maybe if he can get contact on it. Maybe you can get the guy at second, if you're lucky. Not a ton of speed at first from...
Swinging a fly ball, tailing down the right field line, diving and unable to get it is Buckley as it rolls all the way to the base of the wall. Scanlon on his way for third. Briggs has himself a double. And just like that, Cleveland's got the tying run in scoring position.
And yeah, that's the tough spot there, though, and that's why we saw the shade over, because they thought they might have a play at second if they went to the pull side. It's tough from the right fielder, but they don't get a run in that situation. Stuck at third and second, so they can't quite put anybody in yet. That'll be something that I think Cleveland will be slightly disappointed with.
Buckley dove. He didn't make contact with the ball. They ruled an error. It should be a hit. So there's a base knock there for Jackson Briggs. That's line back up the middle. Toten underneath it makes the catch on the run. Neither runner was tagging. And I don't think even if they were tagging, they would have advanced. That was a great throw in from center field. So now here comes Ortiz. 2 away, 2 in scoring position. Time for the number 9 hole hitter to do a job. Fastball just high for a ball.
Gotta get a run here.
Scanlon on third, Briggs on second. That one misses away. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the order on deck here for Cleveland. Strike there. 2-1. Ortiz had the RBI ground out his last time up. He needs a hit or a walk to keep the inning alive. He goes up 3-1 now. Otis set. 3-1. Got the corner. Strike 2. That was big. Really, really big. So now big time pitch coming here. And a breaking point in this one, and Otis steps off. That's where that preparation comes in for moments like this. Everyone's talked about how prepared they are as a team and the focus levels. That's where these moments came. The 3-2 off the end of the bat, back to the mound. Otis has it with plenty of time, and he will end the inning. Big time job from Evel Otis out there, getting out of a jam. The tying run was in scoring position, but doesn't come around to score. We've played 4-2 here at the World Series. Fifth inning of play. The man who started off last inning leads it off yet again. It's Taylor, the third baseman. Reached on an error his last time up. 4-2. New Orleans on top. Cleveland had the tying run in scoring position and couldn't get him across.
And I'm stunned at this point, right? We're starting the fifth. I don't know if we've had a game yet in this World Series where both starting pitchers have pushed themselves out into the fifth inning for both teams. This has been an impressive performance. Those guys gutsy. I don't know if they've necessarily had their best stuff today. They've allowed some hits. They've walked some batters, but it's been a really solid display from both pitchers when they've needed to show up.
1-1 count to Taylor. Shepard is at 82 pitches here as he enters the fifth inning of play. Pitch number 83 is lined to left side, but caught out there at short by Tavares. That ball died quickly. It looked like it was going to get through, but Tavares tracked it the entire way and makes the play.
What's that John Mayer song? Gravity. It just, again, the ball finds the space at the shortstop spot, and Tavares, everything that gets there, he just picks it up, makes a play. That time he didn't have to grab it off the ground and throw it to first. He just did it himself, but it made it look so easy. That wasn't super routine. He had to slide over, a little kick step to get there, and to his right, he makes the play, has to reach his glove across and grab it, and it's routine-ish. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you got to get it done. He did.
William Brown steps up for his third plate appearance of the game. 0 for 1 with a walk. Slight delay as New Orleans sending someone out to the bullpen and making sure they can get over there safely. And now play can resume. Shepard's first delivery to him is a fastball just off the inside corner, ball one. They try to go low and downstairs to Brown, who, when talking with Monroe Bates, called it a big league swing that he's got. May have checked. He did check. Patrick Lovely down there on the base paths today. Lucius Moore calling the balls and strikes.
We had them yesterday. Friends of the program.
Fun crew to work with.
Lucius did the early game just like today. Patrick took the other two. And you say, I wonder if that'll happen again here at the termination here on day 3, day 1 for the juniors.
This is game number 1 of the juniors. As there's a strike is called. As Ryan and I are going to get blown away here in a second. Game number 13 overall, though, in this RBI World Series. Deep fly ball, straight away center field. Barman going back. He turns, and it's over his head and all the way to the base of the warning track. Brown on his way for second. He'll hold up there with a 1-out double. There's that big league swing they've been talking about.
And there's the pop, right? For a junior kid to push that ball that far out, nearly to the warning track's impressive. You saw it. If you could get a good angle at it, you saw how in the outfielders were playing because they just don't have to go back there that much at this level. He turned. He was running full speed out in center field. Could not find any sort of room to get close to that ball, and Brown stands on second relatively easily. And now with 1 out, a man in scoring position, New Orleans looking for some insurance, and that's probably the day done for Shepard. They're taking the ball from him?
They are taking the ball from him, so great stuff overall from Shepard. He's responsible for the man at second and did give up 4 runs, but overall, 89 pitches, nothing to scoff at in day 1 of a tournament. And like he just did, he battled all game long. New man to the mound for Cleveland will step aside here at the World Series. Josiah Martinez moves from right field to the mound as Ryan Shepard's day is done after 4 1/3. Brilliant stuff from him, though, overall. I mean, he battled, got to 89 pitches before they finally pulled the plug on him. Martinez threw just 1 inning of work in the regionals, and the first pitch he throws the World Series is in a right center field and down for a base hit. Pinch runner into the game for New Orleans will be held at third. That's Chad Bates over there, who gets the stop sign there. Brown was designated for return, though, so he's able to come back in and hit his next time up.
Hit for the DH, or run for the DH, catcher, pitcher. They get kind of their courtesy runners, not necessarily the full pinch runner, the replacement runner. It's well done from Cleveland defensively in that moment. Don't let the ball get past you. They got to hold Bates now at third because they stayed in front.
Mercadal takes strike one. 2 RBI double to give New Orleans the lead his last time up.
And in a one-out game, or in a one-out inning right now, you leave the runner at first, you leave the runner at the corner, double play up the middle, you can get out of the inning unscathed, keep it 4-2.
One on the move for second, pitch is bunted foul.
That's the second time, though. Even though that was a bunt, obviously harder to track for the catcher, that's the second time it's really been lost by the replacement catcher, Vargo. They were asking earlier, Cleveland came over, was trying to figure out the ruling on if the starter, Colleran, could return after he was injured. Obviously, we haven't seen him, so I can't imagine they were given the grants to bring him back.
On the move for second again, pitches downstairs. That eliminates the double play ball as Fields takes second.
Yeah, that's smart. Again, you're always going to take that because they can't throw it because Bates has the speed to score. You're never going to give him a run for free, but it's textbook from New Orleans. Got to do the easy stuff right if you want to win a World Series.
Did it go? Yes, he did. They faked the throw down to first. Back there at third, he is safe. Drop third, strike rule sees Mercadal reach base, so he moves to 1 for 2. That's tough right there.
I totally agree with where Vargo's head was at there. I think a little slow might have been Martinez making his way over to kind of cover for the catcher on that throw, because what you want to do there, catcher over to first, catcher then gets out of the way, first goes home to the pitcher, you try and get him out that way.
Popped up, this is the infield fly rule, so 2 out.
And that's important.
Top of the order now comes up with 2 outs now. That's huge.
But again, yeah, what you want to do in that scenario, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's catcher to first, catcher get out of the way, pitcher, you're covering there, you got to make the tag, because I don't think the catcher's going to have enough time to properly clock the throw and then get back, and then he's got to get there. You want the pitcher to kind of be watching him the whole way.
Yes, or here's what I was thinking as well, and I wanted to pose this question to you. If you're a Vargo there, he pumped down to first. If you're going to throw a third, would you not just throw right away?
Yeah, I get behind that, but he's not off the bag, and
that's out of play behind home.
I almost wonder if your actual strategy is check third. Third is your first place you look. You know, you check off him, then you make sure you get first, and then if he comes back, then you do all three. I don't think he ever checked third. He checked first, which was a waste of time because you knew he was going to first. You knew what you had to do there. You check third, you stare him down, you get the easy out, you hold him there. Inning gets the second out. It might not matter in the end, but those are the little things I feel like.
1-2 the count now at Toten. Pair of singles in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Now the windup Martinez is 1-2.
He's the guy you want up with 2 outs to try and just find a little bit more insurance as this game is now in the 5th. We're in the closing portions of it. We probably got about 30 minutes or so left.
We started at 8:17 at the 2-hour, 15-minute time limit.
So that's 15 minutes. So we got 30 minutes left in and around.
Fly ball. Shallow right center field. It'll be Behrman to make the catch to end the frame. Nice job there from Martinez out of the bullpen. Gets 2 big outs and leaves them loaded. Home half of the 5th up next. Good one brewing here. Home half of the fifth, 4-2 in favor
good
of the visitors, New Orleans, as Cleveland comes back to bat. Couple of defensive changes, though, for New Orleans Youth Academy. They'll start off with Dominic Toten's the new pitcher on the mound. Going out from left to center field will be Jeremy Gibson. And then Bates, the pinch runner from last inning, remains in the game. However, the DH, William Brown, will be hitting for Bates. So they're keeping the DH, and they're having the runner not hit. Meanwhile, we've been informed that Braden Colleran is going to return in this one as well, as the 0-1's popped up. Coddling the foul line down there, and right is the first baseman Rogers, and that's out number 1. Ryan, a good one unfolding here, like we said, and, missed opportunities now, though, for both sides after that last frame for New Orleans to really break it open.
Yeah, and that was really, I think, good stuff from Cleveland after we talked about it, right? All those 2 runs that came in the second for the Guardians, they could have, probably should have had more. Then they allow 3 runs to New Orleans in the fourth when it probably should have only been 1 or 2. So there's a lopsided there in terms of maybe expected runs. We'll throw that out. I don't know if that's technically an official term, but we'll use it for the sake of the argument here. And then that last one, New Orleans in a really good spot in the top of the fifth, and Cleveland holds them scoreless to kind of make some of that back up and keep this game tight, get the sticks back in their hands, and they're 2 swings away from tying it up.
1. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike to Josiah Martinez, the pitcher.
I think this is a big spot for Mr. Tutton here. You got to start well. You only want to use 2 pitchers, I think, in your first game, especially on a day like this where you've got the double header to try and get in and out. You're going to be playing a lot of baseball these next couple of days.
And now, because of all the cancellations and whatnot and due to the weather, they're losing the built-in off day that these teams have for bracket play.
Sure.
We see that today is the built-in off day for the senior team, so there's not going to be any senior division games on the baseball side of things, just junior games today. Originally scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday, being the slated off day for the teams as the junior bracket play begins on Friday with the senior final. So there's no off day anymore. I guess yesterday was technically now became the off day.
Yeah, right, because they'll play all the way through Wednesday and Thursday, and then the next round on the Friday. And it really wasn't an off day because, again, you've got teams like New Orleans and the Dodgers traveling.
That's going to be an error at third by Taylor, assuming that Martinez is safe, which he is by a couple of steps.
Well, it's too bad for Taylor. He's been really good at third base today, and that one I don't think he tracked all the way through. It was tough to find. It was slower rolling than you're used to, I think, at third base. That can throw your timing off. He's got to go behind with that glove, and I think he just got his head up. He was looking to see if he could get the speedster Martinez out and lost track of the ball, couldn't find it, and gets charged with an error.
Well, courtesy run for him.
Yep.
Now that he is the pitcher. So Shepard now comes up. Single in the first inning. Tried to stretch into a double and was thrown out easily from center field. Toten at the time was said center fielder. Now he moves onto the bump here for the fifth inning. Looking to lock it down. Also to keep in mind the time limit as well. 2 hours and 15-minute time limit in this game. We started at 8:17, which would put us at a 10:32 stoppage.
22 minutes left,
So
give or take.
My guess is we'll get through 6. Most likely.
I like that guess. I think that's real professional.
Well, it's important also because we talked about pitchers, though. It saves pitches for a lot of these guys as well by not having to go for another inning, especially if you're New Orleans, you're the visiting team. So you have the bottom of the 7th built in when you're leading by 2, which they are. So it can help with pitch counts. No balls and a strike to count to the now Guardian right fielder. The pitch. Drill down the right field line, hooking towards the foul line. It is foul. Missed extra bases by maybe 3 feet.
Extra bases, he might have missed more than that. That was really close to cruising right onto the perfect coffin corner, and we've seen one already this week. If you find the right spot on this field, it's deep enough, it's big enough, you can get all the way around if you got the speed to show for it. That would have certainly driven in a run and probably been a triple at the very least, I think.
We saw yesterday Cole Waterman inside the park home run for Detroit in the senior division in their game against the Diamondbacks.
He looked tired after that.
I'd be gassed too. It's a lot of running. Hard hit on the ground and through the right side for a base hit. Shepard, after missing extra bases by a couple feet, turns around on the next pitch and has himself his second single of the game. So 2 are on here with only 1 gone for Cleveland. And here's the return of Braden Colleran. Glad to see that he's back. Nice job by Vargo holding down the fort catching-wise when all things are said and done.
Sure, yeah, he does a good job to fill the space, I think, and allow them to check up. And they're probably going to need Vargo at some point later on in this tournament to play in that same role. So it's good to get him the reps as well, knowing that you're, in all likelihood, with all these games and all these days in a row, going to have to go back to it. Colleran really upset with that one. Infield fly rule, and well done by Taylor to still make the grab.
That is out number 2, big time there.
That's one of those that New Orleans is stoked about as well. In a tough spot with 2 on, 1 gone, you get an easy out to level the field off. You can survive another inning here and go to the 6th frame with a chance to maybe close it out.
Julian Tavares, 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles and a run scored. Take strike 1. Pop out to first in foul territory. E5 single. An infield fly rule pop outs to third. Cleveland 5th so far. Tavares off the end of the bat. Floats that one down the right field line. This could be trouble, and it is caught! Oh, what a grab by Buckley!
He found that one. I mean, that's so good. He dropped one like that earlier. They talked about it. After the inning where he had the drop shading to his left, Coach came over, looked at him individually after he ran to the pole, got his little warm in, and they had a conversation for a second. I would assume, because the only thing that happened with him that entire inning was that drop. He shades perfectly, slides over, gets on his horse, and just gets down underneath it to make sure that can't come out of it. He gets there, he caresses it, holds on to it, and that's an important third out to hold a 2-run lead.
Big time play in what was a breaking and turning point here in the later innings of this one. We've played 5. It's 4-2. New Orleans on top. Four-two, New Orleans as we reach the 6th. Man, what a great catch that was out there by Buckley in right field. That right there could be game-saving for New Orleans. He misses that. That could roll a long way and could tie the game.
With 2 on, they're both scoring. That guy's probably getting to third, and there's still 2 outs. There's momentum in the right direction for Cleveland. That's huge for New Orleans. They've got that, momentum meter, I guess, on, Madden or whatever. That's one of those where it's got a chance to go from maybe a little bit in favor of New Orleans to all the way in favor of Cleveland, but now it's really all the way in favor of the Louisiana boys as they try and bring this one to a close. They are 3 outs away, we think at least, depending on how the clock shapes out. We've got maybe
We have a quick inning when you get to the 7th.
Yeah, maybe 15 to go. So if we get to the 7th, then they're 6 outs away. But as of right now, they want to find some insurance and maybe have a longer inning so they can get 3 out and move us along here in the 6th.
Robinson, Rogers, Johnson, 2-3-4 here. As the 2-2 comes in. Slow curve, tap foul. Inside, and it goes full. Robinson walked his last time up. It was against the starter, Shepard. He's doing a nice job fighting off some tough pitches from Martinez to stay alive. Ball 4, and Rogers has walked for the 2nd time.
It's a really good eye.
Or Robinson, I beg your pardon.
Way to stay patient, put yourself on the path, and that could be a very important runner right there, Kevin. That 5th run crosses, it makes it that much harder.
Now, with no one out, here's Chancellor Rogers. Reached on an error his last time up. Smacks that one on the ground up the middle. Tavares to second himself. On to first. Low throw. Bounces in there, but got him. Another 6 unassisted 6-3 double play started by the man who has flashed his leather all day long.
Super easy, too. Made it look superb, and Tavares having a little do-it-yourself. Why not?
Second double play for him. He's been everywhere defensively. And now here's Cameron Johnson trying to keep the inning rolling. Swings, first pitch, pops this one up, shallow right field. Tirado going back out there, coming in and making the catches. Shepard to end the frame. 3 up, 3 down goes New Orleans. To the last of the 6 we go. Last of the 6. Could be the last chance for Cleveland here, so they need to get it now. Umpires came together, said that they had about 14 minutes left, and one of the few times there truly is time in baseball, at least at the youth level, as Scanlon, Briggs, Barman do up. Strike one on the inside corner. Scanlon 1 for 2, a single, and he reached on a fielder's choice in the second and fourth, respectively. On one count. Ryan, your Cleveland here. They've had chances. 2 runners on, both in scoring position in the fourth. Couldn't get either across. Pair of runners on, only 1 out in the 5th inning. Nothing doing there. Granted, great defensive play in right field ended that last inning, but still, does it feel like for you, as this one's flied in the air to left center field, that splits the gap and will roll all the way to the track as it gets cut off just in front of it by the center fielder. Gibson diving in safely into second base. It's Owen Scanlon with a leadoff double. There you go. Let's see what Cleveland can make of this.
No, it doesn't feel like for me, I guess, Kevin. That's perfect to start off. That's a great piece of hitting. Push it out into the opposite field. Go out and steal 2 when you can. The problem has been 6 left on base so far today for Cleveland. They have just 2 runs. They're only down by 2. They had a couple of big moments. I go back again to that second inning where they really felt like they should have had 3 or 4 in this one, and Scanlon with a nice leadoff opportunity to get them going.
Marcelo Woodbury will come in and pinch run for him.
And my answer would have been different if
That
Scanlon
double didn't happen.
hadn't done that. It would have very much felt like this was becoming a concern for Cleveland, and now that happens to help them out even more, and now you got a guy 90 feet away with no outs. That should be your 3rd run. Now can you find a 4th here?
So Jackson Briggs, E6 and a double today for him on the scorecard. Double his last time up. Like Ryan said, he's 90 feet away as Woodbury after the wild pitch. 1-0. Popped up in a shallow right center. Stumbling was Gibson, the center fielder. It gets down for a base hit. Woodbury in to score. This is a 1-run game as Jackson Briggs has himself an RBI single.
Yep, perfect. And it's the perfect way to start a frame. Down 2, you chase with an early leadoff double. You get a pass ball, a wild pitch, whichever one you want to call it. You get 3rd for free, and you drive somebody in. And look at that Cleveland dugout now as well here. They are as animated as if they've been today.
Finley Behrman's had 2 great swings. One was a hard hit flat to right, another one a hard hit fly ball to center. Both of them caught. Cleveland has all the momentum, a large support system making the trip from Ohio as they'll check you on the runner, and back in there with a dive is Briggs. Toden in his 2nd inning of relief for the starter, Otis. Third base side of the rubber, he comes set. Southpaw delivers. A fastball, caught the corner, 0-1. Of the 6 runners left on base today for Cleveland as the 0-1 comes in. Hard hit ground ball and through for a base hit to right field. Barman will take the trip back to second base after a wide turn. First and second here, tying run in scoring position.
Sure, I think they're both winners on that one. That's a good job from New Orleans to hold the runner at second. Don't put another guy 90 feet away with no outs on the table.
And now it's going to call for a meeting of the minds. I was just about to say, prior to that last pitch, 6 runners left on base, 5 of them left in scoring position for Cleveland. They have another one here. And let's see if this will be a simple pep talk or a move to the bullpen. It looks to be a pep talk. No one up and throwing right now in that right field pen for New Orleans.
It's strategical. They're pointing out spots out there saying, hey, this is what we want to do with 2 on, nobody out. We're going to go through our checks, our balances, and make sure we know what's up. And then it becomes, hey, support your guy. Get your pitcher back on track. Catcher work with him. They're going to do their job behind you. They're going to make sure that the ball's hit on the ground. They know where to go with it. They know exactly how to deal with it. And we got a one-run game.
Jenciel Vargas Ortiz, 0 for 2 with an RBI today. Grounded out back to the pitcher, which drove in a run in the second. And with the 2 runners on, both of them in scoring position in the fourth with 2 outs, he hit a weak tapper back to the mound that ended the inning. He comes up here in a big spot. The switch hitter now bats from the right side for the first time today after batting lefty in both appearances against Otis, the righty. He squares the bunt, pops up the bunt. It is caught there by Toten. Back to second. It's a double play.
Oh, no.
And just like that, there's 2 gone in the inning. Disastrous for Cleveland. Dramatic and massive for New Orleans.
And we've been going back to the second inning a lot today for Cleveland, Kevin. Let's go back to the first. 2 base running blunders in that first frame by my count for the Guardians. Add that one to the tally. He thought that one was going to get down. I don't know what the process was there at second. That ball went straight into the air. It wasn't getting very far. Pitcher had it. He was a third of the way to third base when the pitcher caught the ball. You got to check there. And Kem Mapango was really frustrated, the first base coach as well. I think he knew how important that moment was to walk away with maybe 1 out in that moment after a poorly executed bunt in the first place, sure.
Got to get it down.
But now you have 2 outs because you couldn't get it down and you had a mistake on the path in New Orleans.
Ground ball to the right side. Rogers will take it himself. And that will end the inning.
And just watch the first base side here. Watch that embrace with the pitcher there. And that's really good stuff to see New Orleans collectively out of the dugout, all in one, understanding how big that was. They gave up a run. They have 2 guys on, nobody out. A double play off a poorly executed play from Cleveland, and then you get out of it relatively unscathed. You get the bats back in your hands. We're going to play a 7th. Cleveland's still going to have a chance, but this one, New Orleans should still feel really good about, Kevin.
Cleveland 1 run on 3 hits. The first 3 guys reach base with a base knock. Only one of them comes around to score. We go to the 7th. 4-3 our score. Welcome back. Cleveland had an opportunity after 3 consecutive hits to start the inning. But, Ryan, we talked about the base running blunders, but really a poor bunt attempt is what started that unraveling for Cleveland where they stranded the tying run on base there in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and I jump on the base running because it's the thing we saw earlier in the game that held them back in the first frame, but it is the bunt. You're right. When that ball's up above your chest, pull back. Don't get there, right? You have to get out there because you're not going to get that ball on the ground. It's so hard. You almost have to swing and slice if you want to push that to the ground, and then it's going to be hit too hard. He's got to take that one there. That was up at his eyes, as you pointed out, Kevin, and it's just a bad deal all around for the Cleveland Guardians club.
And now you got to hope that you can hold New Orleans scoreless here. Martinez did a good job out of the pen, but he's now fallen behind 3-1 and now walks the leadoff man in Taylor. And here we go. Big insurance run for New Orleans. Sits there on first base on a 5-pitch walk. Second free pass issued by Josiah Martinez out of the bullpen for Cleveland. And now here's William Brown. Beg your pardon, Chad Bates They had to drop the DH. They originally were going to try to keep Bates as just a fielder and not a hitter, but they were told elsewise. So Bates now hits for himself here in a big spot. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
I like the swing, though. I like the aggressive nature that Bates is coming to the plate with. Can you just get one if you're New Orleans? Just one.
Swung at a pitch upstairs, popped up straight back. Colleran, does he have room? He does not. It gets out of play, barely.
Maybe by a yard and a half.
Probably about that, I'd say. I'm with you on that one.
Lands probably 2 feet over the fence. Give him another 1.5 feet on the other end to have the room to find it, not have to hug against the fence. I think that's margin of feet.
Another 0-2. This is on one hop to second base. Tirado's only play is to first. It advances the runner safely to second. So Bates does the job, moves a man in scoring position, and there's one away now here for Isaiah Fields, who's now in right field.
Yeah, good, easy stuff from Tirado as well. Understand that you don't have to get him now. You're just looking for 3 outs. Get the easy one. Don't make something silly and try and force it on over to second to get the lead guy. Always, play the way you're facing in a lot of ways. It's find out what you can, what's in your peripheral, go where you can go. 2 outs away.
Fields takes that one. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Out in front, and it's 2-1. Fields, first at bat of the game, or second at bat, I should say, came in as a pinch hitter back in the 5th. Entered the World Series hitting .250, 3 for 12 at the regionals in Texas. Yes, here's the 2-1, just low. Look over for Buckley out there in right. Runner in scoring position here for New Orleans. It's a big time insurance run. Breaking ball, ball 4. And Fields is aboard for the second time. So a good day for him off the bench.
And how about some of the patience we've seen today at the plate from these juniors? So many good takes in tough spots to take. Now 2 on, 1 gone. Get to the bottom end of your lineup, which always been a key. It struggled today. I think just 1 hit from the 6 ABs from the last 2 guys.
Mercedell takes that one, throw down at third. They're going to get the runner. Out at third is Taylor. Oh, my.
And he's tried a couple times with that speed. Those long legs can carry him far, and that's a tough one to swallow if you're Taylor. You tried your best to go out there and be aggressive. You're still looking for that important insurance run to get to 5. I don't mind it. Just really well executed from Cleveland.
A 2-1-5, caught stealing. Tried the delayed steal, was unsuccessful. Now there's 2 away, the 0-1. High cheese misses. First true base running blunder there for New Orleans. We've seen it a couple times in the Cleveland side, but now New Orleans gets one here in the 7th inning of play. Runner on the move for second. Now they got him caught there. Great move for Martinez. Can they get him? No, they can't. Safe there at second base is Fields, just getting underneath for the tag of Tavares.
And 2 might have been too much to ask for, especially attacking that middle infield battery of Cleveland. Really well done to kind of scramble if you're Cleveland, but it's good stuff.
1-1 is line and fair down the right field line. Rounding third comes Fields. Relay throw to the plate will be cut off. RBI double for Mercedell. His second RBI 2-bagger of the game, and it's a big insurance run. It's 5-3 New Orleans.
There we go. Mercedell's had a couple of big spots now, and he makes do with that one there. Now it's a 2-run game, so now pile one more on. Now you're just looking for as much as you can if you're New Orleans. Cleveland, you got one out. One out to get back onto the batter's side of things. See if you can make something happen.
Gibson inside, and the count goes to 1-1.
We talked about this on Monday, Kevin, with the senior pool play games. First game's the most important game. You win that first game, you pretty much guarantee yourself passage into the next round.
Unless everyone goes 1-1.
Unless everybody goes 1-1, right? Which was the chaotic thing yesterday, but you almost all but guarantee passage into the next round when you win your first game and you allow yourself to be free. You don't have to worry so much about getting the monkey off your back, and you go forward with the idea that, hey, we can win this thing when you win that first game. You feel almost invincible at that point.
Popped up, out of play, just beyond home. Gibson 0 for 3 in this one. 2 pop-outs and a ground out today. That one hits him. And I'll have to send the runner back to second base. So Gibson is hit by a pitch, and now with 2 on and 2 out at the top of the order, and Toden comes back up. And quickly activity begins to brew in that left field bullpen. I believe Cleveland's going to make a change here. Up and thrown right now is a right-hander. And let's see. They've made the signal. That's going to be all for Martinez. So call to the bullpen means a call to a break for us. 5-3 New Orleans out in front. Omar Biascochea into the ball game to pitch here for Cleveland Guardians. Nike RBI. Sticky situation here. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Team down by 2, trying to hold the deficit there. As the top of the order comes back up, and first pitch swinging is Toden, and it's out of play to the left side. Biascochea Pitched twice in the regional, started one game. Overall inning of work, he's 0-1 with an ERA of 35, but obviously inflated because 5 earned runs over his 1 inning is naturally going to skyrocket that number up. Here's the 0-1. Inside, that's a wild pitch, and both runners will advance. So now Toten can break it open right here with one swing.
Yeah, it's such a disappointing moment there, I think. Come on. Pass ball, wild pitch. So frustrating.
Grounded right side. Nice job sticking down with it with Scanlon, and he takes it to the bag himself to end the inning.
Gets away with it.
He does. That'll end the frame. We go to the last of the 7th. Last chance for Cleveland, chasing 2. Two, three, four. Last hopes for Cleveland here in the home half of the 7th inning. 5-3, New Orleans is the score in the opener in this Junior World Series. The first pitch is a fastball for a strike to Josiah Martinez. Dominic Toten still out there looking to lock it down, pick up the save. Nothing in 2.
All right. A good start, but a good spot to be if you're the Guardians, to have the heart of your lineup in this opportunity here.
0-2. Martinez pops it up. He stays alive. He will not be greeted by Cam Johnson.
Thought I was going to catch that.
Well, you pointed out to me earlier, we're underneath a 10, so we'll just slide down to the front and drop out.
Is that what this green thing is?
So I've been told. The 0-2. Slow curve, backed up on him.
That's how you do it. You fall behind 0-2, fight a foul ball, get a ball back. Got to be a fighter here in the 7th.
Weekly hit on the ground at 3rd. Taylor gobbles it up. 1 down in the 7th. All starter with a great start from Yvel Otis. 4 innings of 2-run baseball where he allowed 4 hits and just 1 walk. He didn't have any strikeouts, but he didn't really need the strikeout ball. And by the way, both those runs, Ryan, were unearned.
You are. Unearned run.
Strike 1 to Shepard.
I mean, he's been good since coming on. He had a slow start to Toten. I think since then it's really been solid and steady Eddie.
1-1 now. Shepard, 2 for 3. Pair single sandwich a fly out to right field. That one hits the bat. It's a foul ball. Oh, my goodness. Shepard in disbelief, I think, with the rest of that Cleveland dugout.
What a great two ABs, though, to get here in the 2-3-4 spot. I mean, Shepard's got to be the guy that blows this one open if Cleveland's going to have some success here. You go Shepard, then Collar, and you can't dream of a better spot.
That's caught! Oh! Toten takes away a base hit from Shepard.
He may or may not need a new glove tomorrow. Man, that's got to hurt the hand. What a grab. And if you're Shepard, what a two-pitch sequence. You can't do much better than that in that moment. Wrong place, wrong time.
Colleran's the last hope.
It comes down to their best hitter, really. And he missed the portion of this game after the injury, and I think they brought him back in. They made the call knowing that this is kind of what they were going to get into here. And now you need him to keep your opening game alive, Cav.
He didn't miss an at-bat during his time, though, when he was gone, though. Up and tight. And it's 2-0.
This is true.
Last at-bat, pop out to third in foul territory.
It's not been his best day. Just the 1-for-3 showing from a guy who's, again, batted over 500 in the regional.
Lefty here with two away. Colleran gets underneath this one and pops it up. Taylor and Johnson have room. Who has it? It'll be Taylor to make the grab and foul ground. And New Orleans wins the opener of this World Series 5-3.
I mean, just a gutsy performance from New Orleans Youth Academy Nike RBI. The team from Louisiana that got in yesterday, last team here, Kevin, they don't let that stick to them. They show up early here on Wednesday, and they do what they were supposed to do. They probably outperform what they should have done. A great defensive inning in the second where maybe 4 could have crossed for Cleveland. They only give up 2. They score 3 in the fourth when they might have only had 1 or 2 for themselves, and then they do the job late. They get that insurance run to make it a little bit easier at the top of the 7th. Great pitching performance from both men for New Orleans. The starter for Cleveland did his job as well, Shepard, and just at the end of the day, I don't think Cleveland put enough in when they had runners in scoring position. That was the real struggle for them today. They've got a mountain to climb. For New Orleans, dream start.
Cleveland has a Durham team that's currently